All right, guys, what's up? MrCentralDriver here. I believe we're back with video number 4, I think, on the HEYBIKE Villain. This is a cool ass bike, and in today's video, I wanted to see if we can possibly upgrade the controller. So, I'm going everywhere. And also show you guys how easy it is to take off these panels. It's gonna be my first time I take these off, so I'm gonna let you guys know if it's difficult or not, because they've really hyped this up on being able to change these panels off. Obviously the seat is 1 bolt under here. That comes off within like 30 seconds, if that, not even, probably 10 seconds. So anyways, let's start taking this bike apart, and I wanna see how the battery comes out and how you access the controller, and see if we can swap this thing today and see if we get any more top speed out of it. Now I ran into the first thing that I'm not a huge fan about. Now I do love that you can replace these and you could change them, you could wrap them, you could paint them, do whatever. But the charge port right here doesn't have a quick disconnect anywhere right here. You actually have to feed it all the way back, cut the zip tie, go all the way down here to where it attaches to the battery, unplug this, and then you can take the side panel off. Moving on to the next thing. So to remove this battery, it does not come from the top, it doesn't come out from the side. It comes out from the front right here. So there's a plate that I already took off. Keep in mind there are spacers behind it, so make sure you don't lose those. And this thing will just slide right out of the front. It already wants to slide out, but what I have to do is unhook the battery first, get that done, and then I'll pull this out. I feel like that was almost about to fall, man. That was a close call. And this is how it looks without that battery being in there, just a big open frame. Now, man, it would have been so perfect if they would have had this cut out right here. The controller could have been in the front and the battery could have just slid up from the top. I mean, that would have been so clutch, and it would have been similar to the other bikes that we have in the garage. It just makes it so much simpler to take the battery in and out, especially if you're transporting it somewhere or you want to charge the battery inside the house. But anyways, this is our battery. It's all in Chinese right here, 52 volt, 26 amp hours. It says 1,344 kilowatt hours. I believe that's right. 90 amps. Okay, so the battery is actually good for 90 amps, but the controller is only good for 80. You guys probably can't see it in there. It's written down there. I'll put it up on the screen, but yeah, 80 amps and 260 line amps. So if I was to replace this controller with another HEYBIKE controller, I feel like our limiting factor might be the battery. I'm actually curious to see if we can push 100 amps out of this thing, or if we're not gonna be able to do that. But I'm gonna still see if we can replace this controller or not. And let's see how this controller comes out. Okay, that looks pretty simple right there. So there's Allens on every single corner. Basically a custom-made bracket for the controller, just sits upside down. And at the top, you got 8mm nuts. So I just have to undo these, do the first 2 up here, which might be a little bit harder to get to if you guys can even see those, but I'm gonna get this thing out. All right, this is what we're left with. I had to bring the controller out from the side. So I didn't notice at first, but there's a bracket that this controller sits on, and it's right here. So basically there's 2 Allens that go right here, and then there's 2 Allens that go right here. That actually holds the controller up in place, and then the bolts that go from there to that basically hold this to the bracket to keep it in place. So anyways, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take all these connections off, and we're going to attach our brand new one. It's the same exact size, there should be no issues. If you go any bigger than the 72-300 ND controller, you might run into some clearance issues, and also you might need another battery at that point. But anyways, let's see what this controller can do. So I'm going to switch all these cables. I'll show you guys how it looks afterwards. And this is how it looks after. Not too bad, goes right in the same position like I said, fits perfectly in here. Now I didn't put none of these bolts in because when you do put that cover on that's sitting right there, see how it has that lip right there on the top? It's going to hide that right up in here. So I'm not gonna bolt it for the time being. Obviously, if this is gonna be a permanent spot, you do wanna bolt this in, but just for the time being, I'm not. And keep in mind that I am using the same exact harness that came on this bike, so I'm not replacing the harness with an aftermarket one because everything's wired together. Why take all of this stuff apart? You know what I'm saying? That would just make it more difficult. So all I did is disconnect this from that controller and just popped it right into here, and that's pretty much it. And then you do your power and ground, it's labeled, and you do your yellow, green, and blue, and you're good to go. Now keep in mind, because this thing does have a Bluetooth dongle that you can connect to, and you load it up on the HEYBIKE app on your phone, take pictures of all the original settings, because what we have to do now is once I go into the HEYBIKE right now and hook up the dongle to this controller, I'm gonna have to program it exactly how it was set up by the company and then set it to 52 volts because right now it's running 72 volts, but we're not gonna have a 72 volt battery. But at this point in time, if you did have a battery that would fit in here, you could go to 72 volts, but I'd have to measure the battery for you. I have nothing that's going to fit in this tight little space. But if you did, that'd be great. And this thing would be hauling ass down the street, probably doing, I don't know, 55, 60 miles an hour. So here are the measurements of this battery if you guys are curious to know. So that's that side right there, probably 8 1/4 or so. And then the width of this is 4.75 inches. And let's do this, it's the same. Oh, it's a little bit taller actually because of this piece right here. So that's like about 9 1/2 inches. And then the side right here is 4 1/2 inches. So just to give you guys an idea, yeah, it's a pretty small but unique size battery. And here she is, ladies and gentlemen. I still gotta put the seat on, but that's very simple to do. Everything is back and installed. I copied all the settings over. Now, something I wanna let you guys know is I actually missed the bottom section of all the settings on the stock controller. So I would have to go back and put the stock controller in with the Bluetooth dongle just to get the far driver up and then copy the settings, then go back and put this one in because I still do have an error 10 on the screen. But anyways, it does seem like everything works. The throttle is great. Everything is really like good to go. It's just not going to measure our speed. So I'll have my phone up here so you guys can see. And this thing seems like it's taking off pretty damn quick. So without further ado, let's go out there and see how fast this thing is now. All right, so we're out here on the bike and wow, torque, immediate difference. Now, something I want to update you guys with, because it's actually been a few days since I left off on that previous clip that you just saw, is that the company actually sent me the file for this bike. So I was able to copy everything over, and then I just basically switched the line amps and the phase amps, and I changed all the power curves and the speed ratios. So everything's pretty much 100%. I'm not gonna say this is perfect, but it is definitely a change bike for sure. And if you guys want that file, just ask me. I'll put it in the Google Drive if you guys want to download it so you guys have all the factory settings just in case you know, mess with your controller. But keep in mind, you could break your controller if you don't do it right. And I personally don't want to be responsible for that, all right? So here we go. Let's show you guys the torque of this thing. Again, it's really only an extra 20 amps, but still, it's a big difference, you know? I don't expect this to be going like super, super fast, but I'm really curious to see what it's gonna give us if you put, you know, a $140 controller in here. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Whoa, my God, that torque. Way different. 23, 28, 31, 36, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Are we gonna reach 50? 47. Come on. Oh, I don't think so. I think it's done. 48. All right. Well, it needs a little bit of tuning because it's definitely struggling up top. I'll tell you that. It's definitely struggling up top. So I'm not gonna push it too much, but yeah, that's not too bad, right? I mean, we gained 3 more miles an hour, and if you're lighter than me, I'm 165 pounds, you'll definitely probably hit 50 miles an hour for sure. If you're a little kid, 120, 130 pounds, I could definitely see you guys hitting 50 after swapping out the controller. Keep in mind, I still have the error code on here because even though I switched all the settings, for some reason, I feel like this controller reads speed a little bit different. And the way this display is set up, it's not reading the speed off of this controller. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but if I was to switch off this display, I can definitely get the display to read. But this display right here, the G518, it's not going to read the speed, and that's why we have the error communication code. So there's nothing I can do about it. Most of these bikes are like that, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. But if you put your phone up here, you'll definitely be able to see your speed. And yeah, man, that power curve right there is crazy. Woo! I can stay in the street if I really wanted to. Whee! Stay right behind this GMC, baby. Yeah, this thing has definitely woken this bike up for sure. It's not even just the top speed that, you know, we only got 3 miles an hour. It's everything else. The torque, the pickup speed, it all feels different. The throttle response is great. We did the auto tune, and you can also calculate that so I don't have as much deadband in it. So when I originally got this bike, you barely can move the throttle like 15%. It doesn't do anything, no power at all. And now it's now it's really instant. It's actually, it wants a pop a wheelie. This thing definitely wants a pop a wheelie now. It feels closer to me to the 60 volt bikes now. It really does. Compared to the S1 amp and the other one, this really feels like it's comparing to the 60 volt versions of those bikes now after putting a controller on here. And personally me, I think this bike is better than those, not speed wise. And of course you have to upgrade this one to kind of get the speed to match those. But I feel like if you guys love this bike and you want to throw a controller on it, boom. I mean, you can even probably throw a higher controller in it if you want, but technically you keep in mind, this battery is technically only good for 90 amps. Anything over that, you're kind of stressing the battery out, so be careful on temperature and, you know, riding on a hot day, just sitting at full throttle all over the place, you know. So be careful on that, and keep in mind that the throttle is really touchy. So, I mean, I'm going everywhere. Seriously, I'm not trying to do that on purpose. This thing is just like going bah, bah, bah. I mean, that goes to the power curve as well, not just the 20 extra amps we have in here, but I think this is a winner in my book. You can't go wrong with those 60 volt e-bike for sure, but if you really like this one and you're, you know, happy that you're gonna get that Bluetooth speaker and you got the panels that you can swap out. The panels are the nicest thing. You take them off, wrap them, paint them, whatever. I think that's a really cool feature of this bike, and it's worth buying if you want to upgrade in the future. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all I wanted to show you in today's video. Modify this bike, you know, have fun with it. This is the last video I'm making on it. It's a great bike, but gotta move on to other stuff, guys. And this is my 4th video on this thing. I put a lot of videos out on this thing, so if you liked all the videos and you like me modifying these things, then let me know. Drop a like on it or something like that. Cool. Always worried about getting hit at these roundabouts, but I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel, and ride safe, all right? Well, just so you guys know, everything works on this bike. I probably didn't mention it, but look, I'm holding the brake and the throttle doesn't work. The reverse works as well. Look at this, we're going backwards. The headlight works, it's just we got the error code. That's all the things that you got to worry about, is you won't have the mile per hour. That's it. Everything else is functioning properly. Even this functions. If I take this off, I can't ride the bike. It won't go anywhere. See, look at that. So I got to put it back on, and then it should go.